Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to your favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Welcome to Riffin with Griffin! Whoa, 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 whoa! Home of the wolves and the whoa, whoa, whoa! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Another solo adventure. I'm just taking this solo road and we going with it strong. Today I got some question and answers, new segment, real world advice from a grown ass man. So I got questions from Instagram, so I'm going to be going through those. I'm going to finish up my 90-day Fiance because I finally saw the finale. Wow, craziness. And just talk about a few things that's going on in life. But I really appreciate y'all being here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, that's it. Excuse me, stop that. Well, anyways, had an uneventful week. Since the last episode, just regular stuff, just regular life. It's tough. I don't know. I don't want to say it's tough. It's just different. We're trying to live in this new world, and we're kind of waiting to see, like, what are we gonna do? What's life gonna be like? And I think we're all on a holding pattern of like how we really want to feel about everyday life, because this isn't normal. You want to say this isn't normal. This isn't how we're living for so long, and then we're kind of waiting, like, how long is this gonna go on? Is there gonna be a vaccine, or is this thing gonna get better? Then you hear news like New Zealand hasn't had a coronavirus case in 100 days, but at the same time, though, their borders are closed and people can't travel. So, but if they're like, okay, well, we have enough things there, we don't need to worry about anything, and we're not gonna have any import export, or we're not gonna, how are they gonna live? So is that normal now? They're like, okay, this is how all the nations are gonna be. We're gonna close everything, borders down. We're not gonna let anybody in or out. I mean, that's not living either. But maybe they're just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. But I don't know. Are they back to normal life? There's like a few places, like Taiwan's another place that they're sort of back to normal life. So, I mean, there's hope out there. We're like, hey, are we going to get back to normal? So, it's like, when I say I had an uneventful week, it was like, it just didn't feel like, it don't feel like I'm back to myself. And that's really the hard part, Let's see. I did find out some good news. I'm going to be in a HBO Max cartoon, so that made me feel like, yes, I'm doing, I'm living a normal life. I had something funny about Rachel, but I don't know where it is. Rachel and I are great. I don't think I talk about her enough. She's always like, nobody knows that we're engaged or we're this or that. I mean, I haven't officially, got the ring and been like, yo, will you marry me? Now, don't judge me. This is because she can't make up her mind on what kind of ring she wants. Literally every week it changes. And then she goes, I found out this is what I want. And I'm just kind of like in a holding pattern of like, all right, so is this the one you want? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. And then she doesn't like surprises, but I know her. She wants to pick the ring. You get what I'm saying? But maybe that's my excuse too, to keep it like my fear or whatever, I don't know. Maybe I should just go and do it and deal with the consequences of like, I don't really like this one, but it's like, okay, well, we can change it, or like, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what the right thing is. It's a difficult thing. And before this all happened, we were already like, oh, I want this kind of ring, and I was like, all right, I went and got like a credit card at one of these at Tiffany's or one of those places. Like I'm ready to do it, right? I'm ready to spend a ton of money and be like, all right, make you happy. And then quarantine hit, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know where money's going to be coming in from. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to live the same life for a little while. I mean, you know what I mean? Because when you're a comic, all your money is based off I don't got a pension plan. It's like you go do shows, you make money that way, you put money away, you use money to pay bills. But like if all the shows stop, I was like, whoa. And I wasn't on a TV show at the time. You know, people think because I was on Workaholics for 7 years, I got all this money. No, man, that was basic cable. You know what I mean? There was no money. And Comedy Central don't pay like heavy residuals, not to the other actors. You know, the only people making the money are the three guys. They, you know, because they own the show. So whatever deals they make to put the show out, it had nothing to do with the other people. I was a hired gun. So I know you guys think you see people on TV. Well, they must make a lot of money. Trust me, most people that are on TV don't make money. The people that make the money are in the credits. The one that says produced by, created by. Those are the people that make the money. You know, so I'm sitting here like, all right, and I have savings. I've been a frugal motherfucker for a long time. But I need to know, like, if I'm gonna make this woman my wife, well, I got to make sure that we're taken care of for years to come, not just like in the fly of this moment. So buying an expensive ring became like a, you know, hey, we got to put this on the back burner for a second because we didn't know what was happening. We quarantined, you know, so, but now things are we're starting to see a light. We're starting to see like how life's going to be now. I've gone into gaming, you know. I'm on Twitch every day streaming. I'm a Twitch partner. I got deals with, you know, gaming companies now, you know. So I've refocused. So now I feel more better and confident about where things are going. So I need to just boom, do it. I just don't know how to do it because now she knows. So even once we decide, okay, this is the kind of ring you want, I'm gonna go get it. But then everything we do, she gonna be like, are you proposing? You know what I mean? So I got to trick her ass a couple times. I got to go set up some romantic thing and she's going to think that's it. And I'm going to be like, oh no, not do it. And then, you know, and then maybe during that, do it later. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like when you're with somebody that don't like surprises, but at the same time, you have to do some romantic gesture. It's difficult. Tell me, you guys out there, send me emails or messages on Instagram, whatever. How did you propose? Or, you know, how do you just do it? You're like, you know, so I don't know. So that's been going on. So that, you know, that's a fun thing. I'm excited about it. I know, you know, like what I've learned from this quarantine is she the one, you know, because we're together all the time. And even when we fight and get on each other's nerves, we work past that. Because that's what love's really all about. It's like love ain't about the lovey-dovey stuff. Love is about dealing with the bad shit. You know, love was about understanding that, okay, this person does this thing and, you know, it's an acceptable negative. You know, my mom used to say this all the time. You have acceptable and unacceptable negatives, you know, like snoring might be an acceptable negative, you know, her taking too long to get ready when we go someplace, unacceptable negative. You have to decide what your unacceptable and acceptable negatives are. And when you figure that out, then you see how it meshes with the person. But this quarantine is really like fast tracked, you know, hey, can we live together? Hey, can we get along? And it's great, you know. So for all the relationships out there that are working, because, you know, that you found out it was tested during the quarantine, good for you. And also good for the people that realize, oh, I got to get away from this motherfucker. You guys too. Good for you guys right there too. All right, let's get to, I know last week on the episode, I was talking a lot about this show, 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way. So now I finished the season. I know everything that happened. And then they had the tell-all, which I love. All these dumb reality shows, my favorite part of the dumb reality show is the tell-all final 2 episodes where they all come back. They've all watched the show. And now they can come back and be like, whoa, what the fuck did I just see? Or they can realize how terrible their behavior is, you know? And so I found out, you know, what's her face? Laura and Aladdin, right? Wait, let me make sure I get all these people's names right. All right. 90 Day The Other Way. The final, you know, 2 episodes. But I saw everything. Okay, so Jenny and Sumit. Turns out this motherfucker's married and he's a coward. That's really what it is. So he was in an arranged marriage in India. And, you know, he says he doesn't love his wife, but who knows? I don't believe the dude. Somebody sent me a message and told me that the dude was lying about what he looked like when he first met her. Okay? Listen, the fact that if they love each other or not, it does seem like they have genuine feelings for each other, right? But I also feel like the dude is caught up in the show. I think he used Jenny as a way of telling his parents and rebelling against the culture of arranged marriages and his family, and letting his wife know in the most worst possible way, I don't love you. Dad, I don't agree with how we live, and I'm showing you how. I'm showing the world. I'm doing the worst possible thing. I'm finding some American woman, and even worse, some, well, not even worse. I'm just saying it don't look like a relationship that should work. It's basically, he just went out of his way to make it like crazy. And I think in the process, they actually have real, genuine feelings for each other. But damn, he lied to this woman for years. Apparently, they've been like talking on the internet or going back and forth for like 6-7 years. And then in that process, he got married to another woman. Who knows what he was doing with this lady? So I don't trust this motherfucker, Submit. And I think it's terrible. And I think it's terrible for poor Jenny, because you get it. She's 60. She's lived her life. She got grandkids. And now she's sitting here like, well, I want to do stuff with my life again. I raised girls. She obviously had a tough time dealing with the fact that her daughter was lesbian. You could see that they had like a thing at first, and then she got over that. And so she went through a lot of stuff, as a parent, and getting into her older age, dealing with that stuff. And she's found herself like, okay, I've dealt with that. I love my daughter and her wife, and now I want my own thing. And she just chose wrong. She made it difficult for herself. She went on the internet and found some motherfucker in India. You know what I mean? Like, what? And then, so that shit is crazy. So they did their thing. Jahoon and Devin. That dude is funny. You just like him, and he just is a boy. He's just a boy. He just keeps lying because he doesn't know how to face this woman and be like, yo, I'm irresponsible. You know what I mean? He irresponsible. He don't save money. Turns out the motherfucker's a criminal. He was selling stolen phones in China, so he got $30,000 in debt, and who knows if that's even true. It's probably even more to get off his criminal record. So this dude is he crazy, but he's funny. You like him. You want him to succeed. And Devin's sweet, but she's just young. She young. She said she hadn't had sex in a year, and then she got with this Asian dude from, some foreign dude from Korea, comes over, and then she just lets him bust all in her, and then she gets pregnant. And she already got a monster daughter as it is. So it's like, I don't get it. And then she's, living with her family. She got a good job, but that money's not going to pay bills. It's going to she's taking care of her kids, but she don't make enough to run a household by herself either. That's why she lived with her family. You know what I mean? Which I understand. But you still feel comfortable if your family's there for you and they care for you and they want you to, be okay. I totally get that. So the money that she makes can go towards taking care of her daughter and living her life, okay? So then she gave all that up to go be with some dude that she thought had an apartment, and this motherfucker living with his parents and got debt and a criminal record. So that's just crazy. And then, what's the face? Paul and Karina. Karina didn't even show up. She wasn't even on a video chat. She probably, who knows what the situation was that. I don't have much to say about this to Paul and this dude. Paul, I mean, the problem I have with Paul, actually, let's go over this. The problem I have with Submit, Paul, Jahoon, all right, these guys, they mama's boys, Like Paul's mom came, and like they always show Paul's mom, and she always talking about, hey, you need to be a man and step up. Hey, motherfucker. Then why you have him living at your house till he's 30-something years old on the internet, freaking, talking to foreign chicks and then giving them all his money? And now you want to tell him he needs to be a man? Well, treat him like a man. Kick his ass out so he can go get a real job and take care of himself. It's amazing to me how they go, they baby people, like these moms, these parents, they baby their kids. They got them living in the house in their 30s, and then they want to also get on them for being like, you need to be an adult. Treat them like an adult. You treating them like a fucking child. If you treat your kids like a child in their 30s, they're going to act like a child. They're going to act like a child. And that's what these boys, they're just boys. This dude Taehoon live in he live in a little ass apartment with his parents. And he don't even know how to be responsible. And you wondering why he got a chick from the America pregnant? It's like, what? And then mom's mean. His mom is mean. Straight up was like, oh, she's not cute. And, the language barrier is weird because Jehoon just speaks the truth because that's how you can't. It's hard to translate. Trying to sugarcoat. It's hard to sugarcoat shit when you translate. So he's like, the host asked him, "Does your mom wish that Devin was Korean?" And he's like, "Yeah." Yeah. And then they showed the mom some hidden footage where the mom's like, "Yeah, she's not cute, and I wish that And it's like, damn, that's fucked up. Because at this point now, it's like, that's your grandkid, and they living with you. She's there. It's like that. But I understand old school parents. They come from a different world, tribal. It's like, I want my son to be with a woman that looks like me, whatever their thing is. But anyways, getting back to this, if you're a parent, don't complain about your kid who's living at home because you let them live at home. It's simple. You kick this motherfucker out. Yes, you can make sure they okay. Maybe you're going to help a little bit, but you can't complain that your kid is acting like a kid in their an adult when you got them living at home. Okay. I can't stand that. And that's basically the thing right there. So Paul, Jaehoon, Summit, and in some ways Corey too, that guy on the show too, Corey, he's another one. He was living at home too, living on his little bullshit farm. And his father, God rest his soul, his father was the salt of the earth, and during the show his father died, so that was really sad, and he was dealing with that, and that's the one time that bitch Evelyn actually acted like, okay, let me act like a nice person, and she did for that one time. So I don't know. So all right, so that's Jaehoon and Devin, okay, which is crazy. All right, and then okay, we talked about Paul, whatever with him. Now let's get to the juicy stuff, okay? Evelyn and Corey again. Evelyn and Corey. Turns out she's a monster, man. I'm sorry. She telling him they're not going to get married because he's too fat now. He's fat. He needs to work out. She got all these excuses, right? And he's sitting there just taking it like, I don't get it. He's like, I love her. What? What? And then to top it all off, she don't got the ring on. And is blazing, just brazen about it. Just like, she got her hands up like, I'm not wearing your ring. It's like, wow, how evil is that? And then the best friend come on, or his only friend there, who's a friend of Evelyn, turns out like the dude told him like, yo, I got feelings for your girl. We actually hooked up, right? Now they show the dude telling he coming on talking about, yeah, I got feelings for her. I want to be with her. And if it doesn't work out with them, I want to be with them. And now that Corey's all mad about it. But hey, you know what? I'm with dude, whatever his name was. I'm with him. Listen, if you got feelings for somebody, own that shit. It's better that he tell him straight up, yo, I'm a rival. I'm your friend. And this is why I'm telling you. I got feelings for her. We hooked up. Maybe it's best that I remove myself from the picture because that'd be the thing to do. But first, you got to be honest. You can't he shouldn't be sitting there lying, pretending like he's happy for them if he's not. Then you know where you stand. At least Corey can be like, okay, I got to watch this dude now. Because that's basically what your friend is saying. If you're a real friend, you got to be like, damn, I have inappropriate feelings for your girl. This is your friend. You go, because we had a previous relationship. Maybe it's best I remove myself from this situation. Or you also telling your friend like, yo, man, keep your guard up. You're not saying that, but that's basically what you're doing when you go, yo, I kind of like your girl and we have this thing, but I am happy for you. I think both those things can be true. I think you can care for your friend and also have feelings for his girl. You know what I mean? I think that's a real shit. And so then you have to know that you're addressing it. Once you put it out in the open, then you can now deal with it. Because then it's on you. When you do that, you put it on you because now you're saying like, okay, well, if you're a good person, you're going to be like, all right, I got to stop doing this or remove myself. Or you're even saying, hey, this is a warning. Like, look out. I'm coming for your girl. And then your friend can be like, okay, whoa. Now we know we're not really friends anymore. Or I could be like, I got to watch this motherfucker. Either way, I think it was important for the dude to say, yo, I got feelings for your girl. And then she just loves it. She's like, oh, everybody's fighting for me, But again, when she held her hands up, I was like, I don't got the ring on. I was like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? My my God. All right, then there's the other one, Laura and Aladdin. All right. This poor chick, man. You know, she's realizing that this dude was just using her for money, you know, which is like, and it's a shame because when you see her and you see him, unfortunately, that's our first thought. You know, in the same way, when you see an older guy and like a way younger girl, I get that. You people send me messages like, oh man, you know, she gonna break your heart. She just using you. Whatever the people think, that's your natural inclination because that's an insult to me and it's an insult to Laura. Because you're saying, you're looking at Laura and going, what are you? This dude got a 6-pack. He's young. He's handsome. He's like, you know, like why would he be with her? That's the feeling that you get when you see a couple like that. Unfortunately, that turned out to be the actual case. You know, he was just using her apparently for paying rent or whatever. I just don't get it. I don't get, and I also think that the show plays a factor. I think like with Summit and Jenny, it plays a factor, okay? The show itself, because they do get money for the show. There is notoriety. There is something about, oh, we're on this show. So I think that Aladdin loved that. I think he played that up and was like, oh, because he brought Laura over to the fucking Qatar. They went to Tunisia. He got his family dancing and singing, and he's getting money from the family. I think the whole thing is a scam for him. So he had this wedding party where his friends gave him money for the wedding. That's part of the thing. He was like, okay, I got that money. I got her money for paying rent, and I got money from the show, and look at me, I'm on TV. So that dude's a motherfucker, and he's going to get his. Straight up, he going to get his, all right? And she just like, you know, and then her, just like Jenny, she's all like, I love him, you know? And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, my God. And then her son is an asshole. Her son, another one who is getting taken care of, like, the son told Aladdin, like, well, you can't have a baby because she's gonna forget about me. It was all me. And then he's a sore winner. Like he been against this relationship from the beginning. He's talking shit the whole time, you know, and then he's on the show with smiling, making his mom feel like shit, man. I thought that was terrible. Like the mom's crying. She obviously feels bad about this terrible situation she's in, and her son acted like a fucking asshole, man. It's like, that's not necessary, you know? It's like, yeah, he's the worst, you know what I mean? I thought he was a nice kid before, but after seeing that, I was like, that's rude. You gonna clown your mom on national television? This is bullshit, man. But she made a bad choice, you know? It is what it is. I left this one for last because this is one that pisses me off the most. Ronald and Tiffany, okay? To recap, they in some romance. He lives in South Africa. He reveals later he has a gambling addiction and a criminal record because of his gambling addiction. All right? She says, I'm still okay. You hurt me and whatever. The trust is broken, but I'm still going to come to South Africa with this 8-year-old that the dude Ronald has bonded with. And Daniel, the little kid Daniel, sweetest kid. He is so sweet. Such a she's doing a great job raising him because you can tell because he's just a loving, great kid, you know? Good. It seems like he's going to have a good head on his shoulders, and he's calling the dude dad. You're going to take everybody to South Africa to marry him. Now, he has a bachelor party. And this is some shit that I can't stand this. You know, you have a bachelor party, there's strippers, and you know, this girl is like, I don't want strippers, I don't want you drinking. They're the friends, of course. They took him drinking and they had a stripper, right? It's like, some women just don't like that. I'm watching this with Rachel and she's made it clear. If that's what you're going to be doing, we are not going to get married. So listen, you have to know what kind of woman you're with. You really do. It's some kind of rite of passage to have a strippers and stuff. No, it's not. It's just a choice. I ain't going to do that. I'm actually going to suggest, why don't we just have a joint party and, you know, so you can, because I don't care. You know, if an act like that is going to make your woman so angry, because some women just don't care. Like, you know, there's a lot of women who are like, make sure you have strippers, have fun. That's your last night, you know, and they know because they feel secure in their relationship. People that feel secure in their relationship, and also themselves, you know, these women that feel secure in themselves in their relationship who are just like, okay, go do your thing, you know. They just don't have their jealousy isn't about that. Oh, you know, the lucky ones out there, right? And then there's the times when your girl she can't deal with it, and you just have to accept that, and it's up to you to be like, nah, like I'm at an age right now where I don't give a fuck about that. I never liked strippers anyway. I don't like strip clubs and that kind of stuff anyway. There's something wrong with it. Then I become Eric Save-A-Ho. You know, I want to talk to him like, why are you doing this? Who hurt you? What happened? You know, that's just it doesn't do anything for me, you know? So anyways, so she's making a whole big deal about that. Here's my problem with Tiffany, okay? First of all, if you're going to move your whole shit over to South Africa, she keeps saying, like she said on the show, I'll never fully trust him. I saw the dude started crying. That hurt him. What the fuck are you talking about? You're never going to fully trust him. Then what the fuck are you doing there? What are you doing with him? At some point, he has to be able to build and earn the trust back. If you just outright saying like, I can't trust him, then what the fuck is he supposed to do? You're saying you love him. He's saying he loves you. The dude went to rehab. He's got a problem. He's trying to work on it, you know? At a certain point, you have to let him know, all right, you can earn the trust back. But she's like, you know, and then she's holding everything against him all the time. Like the dude's like, you know, hey, they were going to go to the store, right? And she's like holding the credit cards, right? Because he can't have money. That's how she wanted to be, you know? And she's taking forever to go. They start going. She didn't even bring the credit card, and he needed to buy something for his car. So he snapped at her. They got into an argument. And then she brings it back up again. Well, what you did to me and the trust that was broken. It's like, hey, bitch, at what point are you going to get over this shit, okay? Because if you can't get over it, you ain't ever going to be in a good relationship. Then get the fuck out of it, because I'm fucking tired of that kind of shit. Like, what are you talking about? You have to be able to trust the guy at a certain point. You have to let him know he's earning it back. If not, shut the fuck up about it. You know, it's like if you cheat on someone and they take you back, take them back. So taking them back means you're going to be able to get over it. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you keep bringing it up, at a certain point, the other person's like, how many times do I got to apologize for some shit that I did? At what point are you going to forgive me? Not saying forget, but you have to forgive. And so she's in the wrong, in my opinion. Okay. In terms of like, and this goes for all of these people in this show, in this situation. Love is not the end all be all, okay? Love, like, I have a friend of mine. His name's Tyler. Super gay, you know, not just regular gay. He's super gay, all right? I've known him for like 10 years, you know? He always making bad choices. So at a certain point, he would always talk to me when it was too late. The boy's using him or whatever. You know, it's like he's terrible. He's on drugs or whatever the situation was. So I told him after a while, you need to have a minimum standard. Minimum standard. The reason why you end up with somebody who ain't right for you or somebody that you think is like just turns out to be a bad person is because of how you feel about yourself. It's because you don't think you deserve better. So you look in a pool that you think, okay, this is equivalent to me or I'm better than this. Have a minimum standard. Start to feel good about yourself that you deserve better. Even if it's minimum, like I said, the next guy you start talking to, make sure they got a job, a place to stay, a car, means of transportation, or they're going to school, you know, but they got to have, just make that the minimum standard before you move forward. Just do that. He started to see like, oh, this one came in his life. Oh yeah, he don't got a job. He's always asking me for money. Or this one. Then you go, you start to want more for yourself. You do deserve better. You do. We all do. But you have to understand that you deserve it. Okay? You have to feel that way about yourself. Do you deserve this? Because love can happen with anyone. Love is like a chemical reaction, man. You know, think of love as like a science experiment that you're pouring a bunch of things into a beaker and you're shaking that sucker up. And then some of the fumes that come off that is love. You have to decide what you put in that beaker before you do. And that goes for the whole 90-Day Fiance thing. And some of you guys that are listening, like Jenny, 60. Should she have went on the internet to find a guy? Like, you can't know enough if you ain't in the same room with the person. You don't know who he is, where he's at, but she allowed herself to fall in love before better circumstances were in place. And that goes for all these people. Better circumstances should have been in place before you decide. Like, do you have similar interests? You know, do you like, you know, get together, see if you click. Does it work? You know, all these kind of things should go on before you let yourself fall in love. Because falling in love, like, you can't even control it, but you can control who you're looking for in the love pool. This is what happens. You know, this Laura, she's in love with that dude, Alan. Why? Because I don't know why. Maybe because he gave her all this attention. They had sex. Maybe she's feeling like, I've been in a bunch of bad relationships and finally someone loves me. But she don't even know what that really feels like because she's always in these awkward situations. You got to give yourself an opportunity. Give yourself a chance to get to know this person, even on a basic level first, before you allow yourself to fall in love. And I do mean you do allow yourself to fall in love because you make yourself vulnerable and open, and you just go for it for reasons that are sometimes just superficial. I like how the person looks, you know, or you only like 2 or 3 things about the person and you think, oh, this is enough for me. And then you start spending time with someone, and it's that time that you spend with them that you really find out who the fuck this person really is. And that's the point that you're in too deep because you love them. And now the love is letting you ignore all this behavior or how they treat you or how it makes you feel. And that's not good enough to me. You know, and we've all done it. I did it. We've all done it. You know, we've all done it. So you just have to, like, you know, you get to a point where you got to be careful, like, who you allow into your life. And then this internet shit is like, this is what happens. You know, this is what happens. This chick, Tiffany, she fell in love with a gambling addict with a criminal record. And then she, you know, makes her son call him dad. And then she wants to go over there and then fucking be on the dude like a mom all the time, making him feel like shit. And she thinks she's in the right. You ain't in the fucking right. You're not in the right. At a certain point, you have to let all that shit go and build trust and a good relationship. And then, by the way, got pregnant on purpose. So her decision making, she need to shut the fuck up. like your decision making is like, so you fall in love with a dude in South Africa, they got a gambling problem, let your 8-year-old son call this dude dad. You know now he can't move over there. You go over there, you find out the fucking place is dangerous, and you know the place is dangerous. You know your son don't want to be there, and you decide to get pregnant on purpose. Get the fuck out of here. You have no business judging that dude's decisions. None. Shh. Shut it. Anyways, all of us make better choices about the process you take to get to know someone. At a certain point, you got to be guarded. And then you open that up. But look, sometimes we let sex get in the way. We let our desires and those things override our common sense. And boom, you end up in a terrible relationship. You know? It's like the guy Corey. He's on the fucking panel talking about everybody else. Is like, I don't think you made the right choice. I wanted to. You need to shut the fuck up. Your girl's over there, you know, with the other dude, and she don't got your ring on. You got enough issues. You don't need to be judging somebody else's relationship. As I'm judging everybody's relationship, right? Anyways, 90 Day Fiance the other way. I love hate watching it. You know, I love hate watching it. Another new one that just came out is Big Brother. Big Brother just started again. Big Brother All-Stars is terrible. Sorry, I don't like it so far. But I always hate Big Brother in the first few episodes. But this one was boring as hell. This quarantine version, they had this really boring game. They weren't listening to Julie. You know, and then, by the way, I don't want to see loser-ass All-Stars. This would be like the NBA having a tournament of like the last 6 years of teams that like, Here's all the teams that finished second, third, fourth They gonna be in a tournament just to see who's the best of those people. Nobody want to watch that shit. Like, I remember why they lost. I saw all these people and I was like, oh, I hate all these people. I never liked any one of these people. Or it was like people from the past. And then it's weird how, like, they're not young people anymore. A lot of them are like, hi, I'm 40. I got 4 kids. I was on Big Brother 10 years ago. It's like, what? So you leaving your family to come do this shit again to live in some, it's a whole different mentality and attitude that I just don't like. I don't like it yet, but again, I love hate watching shit that I don't like. Like, it almost don't even make any sense. Why? Like, it's like, why do you watch it? You know what I mean? All right, guys, got this new segment that I'm doing right now. And this, I wanted people to send me videos, I wanted people to send me videos of, their question. So eventually we're going to get to that. But this segment is real world advice from a grown ass man. All right, I'm going to have some graphics maybe. What's the one thing you will take away from the rest of your life from this pandy? Well, the one thing that I will take away from this is that I need to remember that I'm not defined by my career. I'm not defined by just being a stand-up comic or an actor, that I have to find other things in my life that move me, that I'm passionate about, that also can give me purpose, like hobbies, like, or even your relationship, it really strengthened my relationship. So that's something that I got out of that. How would you handle flaky friends who consistently cancel plans on the last minute? I hate this. My number one is when people are inconsiderate. I can't stand people are inconsiderate, So what you have to do is you have to make your plans and go through with them without them. Or, you really have to redefine like who your friends are and and you have to just step up and be like, hey, this really, I don't appreciate when you don't show up on time. You say that a few times, you got to let them know. Like, don't bitch about it. You'd have to just really have a serious, like, hey, when we make plans, can you show up on time? Because it really makes me feel shitty when you don't. So you got to step up and say how you feel. This is one of my favorite of these questions. This girl I'm in love with, also his friend, got a man who treats her like shit. What do I do? I mean, this is what I was talking about earlier, about feeling that you deserve more, that you deserve better, that there's just got to be a minimum standard of how you want to be treated. Now, you guys out there who are in some situation where you're like, oh, this is my friend and I love her. You being a bitch. You got to let your intentions be known. You can't let this girl have her cake and eat it too. Listen, she knows you got feelings for her. Women know. They know. But they also enjoy this intimacy they're getting from you. The attention, the comfort, the what you provide for them emotionally as a friend and someone who obviously cares for them deeper than most people. Who would want to lose that? She getting dick from the other guy. She getting her passions filled with this guy. That's why now she got the best of both worlds. Nah, man, you got to cut that off. It's not an ultimatum. It's just you taking care of yourself. You have to know your worth. You have to be like, yo, I got feelings for you. I don't like how this guy treats you. I know I would treat you better. So I'm coming for it. So just let you know, I want to take you out on Friday, and it's going to be a date, okay? Would you like to go on a date on Friday? If she's like, well, I have a boyfriend. I said, hey, that's on you. That's your shit. He don't treat you well. You're always telling me about it. I know I could treat you well, and I think that you should stop talking about that dude. If this girl you in love with comes to you all the time like, oh, he treated me shitty again, don't, after 2 times you go, I don't want to hear about it, because that's on you now. Because how many times you gonna stay with a dude that treats you like that? So I'm about it. You want to be with me? Because let her know. Let her know. And if not, if she's like, well, then you go, all right, well, when you're ready to be with somebody who cares for you, I'm gonna be here for you. And you bounce. You gotta cut back on the relationship. Because all you're doing is hurting yourself. Because you sitting here being like, because you're not treating her better if you're If you're letting her know you're okay with her being with a dickhead, how are you being a friend? You're not being a friend. You got to be like, yo, that dude don't treat you well. I don't like it. Get out of that relationship. And I want to treat you better. I will. I do. When you're ready for that, I'm here. And you got to like back away. That's my advice for that. Did you ever struggle to leave a relationship? Yeah, I think we all struggle to leave when you want to leave a relationship, because if you've gotten into a relationship, you care about this person and you care about their feelings. And you're also, you're scared to hurt them, or you're scared to like your own insecurities of being like, well, can I be without this person even though I don't like being with this person? So it becomes a struggle. It's hard. It's hard to make that choice, And by the way, if it is hard, maybe you need to reevaluate, do I really need to leave this relationship? Or unless you just know. Because people that just know, people are like, this sucks, I'm out. You just leave. You're out. But leave. Don't cheat. Leave, But sometimes it's hard. I had a breakup. Even my girl and I not right now. We had a breakup in the middle. It just wasn't working out. But then I couldn't stay away from this motherfucker. We just kept, you know what I mean? And then things changed. We changed things. I changed how I talked to her. She did some things herself. We grew. We both saw it. Boom, and here we are. So if you're struggling, there's a reason why you're struggling to leave. But at the same time, if there are things that are like, this is too much, I can't deal with this, then you need to face those things, talk about it, and be like, yo, we need to work on this. And if those things can't be fixed, then all you're doing is torturing yourself, and you got to get out. How do you get over someone you love so effing much when you have no fam or friends near? Ooh, this is a good one. This is like tough quarantine stuff right here, right? This is like how do you deal with a breakup and you have nothing? So, man, that's when you have to, like what I was talking about earlier about what defines you as a person. It's not just your career or the things that you can't do anymore. You have to keep yourself busy. You got to find purpose. This is a good time to write that script you always wanted to write. This is a good time to start working out. This is a good time to start walking every day, going on runs, or, YouTube is great for they have those 10-minute workouts. You can get one of those stretch band things or do an ab workout. Build a routine of new things. If you're sitting around moping, thinking about this person, then you need to start thinking about you. Focus on you. Maybe it's time to do that spring cleaning. Maybe it's time to read that book you've always wanted to read. Maybe it's time to take up a new hobby. There's a lot of things you could do, but, you can't be defined by just that relationship, and you have to find out about yourself. Who are you now? What are your interests? What have you not been doing because you were in that relationship that you always wanted to do? Or were you you know what I mean? I remember a breakup I had, I realized I was focusing all my life on making sure she was okay. And then I wasn't doing shit for myself, And that's around the time I started, after that breakup, it was around the time I started doing comedy. I was like, because I hadn't been doing it and I should have been. But anyways, so that's what I'm saying. So look at yourself and be like, what can I do to really improve my life right now? And distract yourself. Keep busy, That's all you can really do. But good luck, Here's one I like. Is having the same humor in a relationship important? I don't know. To me, no. Sometimes it's like I'm a comic, so I know my girl don't always like my humor. She comes to the shows and she's like, I didn't get that joke. I didn't like that. I don't understand why people are laughing. It doesn't bother me, because when she's my audience, I know how to make her laugh. We have a great time. We laugh all the time because our collective humor in a relationship is different from, my humor. There's a little bit of it. They cross mingle, they cross pollinate sometimes, but I don't think it's important that you guys both have this the same sense of humor, but I do think it's important that the type of humor, it can't be such a disparity. If you always like dark jokes and it makes the other person really uncomfortable, why did you think that was funny? then you might have a problem there, but I don't think you have to have the same humor, but you have to, you have to understand each other's humor. I think that's important. How can I start my journey to a healthier lifestyle? How did you start? Well, the pandemic made me start because I was eating less, not going out to restaurants, having that, just delicious, buttery, big portions of food all the time. Had to start cooking for myself. Started having oatmeal in the morning. I started taking supplements and vitamins that were good for me because I went and got a blood test, and so I saw I was like vitamin D deficient. I found out cholesterol was going to start being a problem. So then I started doing preventative techniques, which is important. You need to find out where you are on your health. Like, where is your health? Like, where do you stand? A lot of times we just don't know. We need to go find out, and then you just make the choice to improve those things. You have to want to improve your life. When you want to improve your life, and then you start taking steps to improve your life. But it only takes one step. It's just one thing you have to do. If it's get up and walk for 10 minutes every day, that's the first step. If it's like, okay, well, in the morning, I'm not going to have like a savory breakfast. I'm just going to have oatmeal, maybe a half a bagel. Like, you just make these choices, and then you just, it's really simple. You just eat less. Eat less, add vegetables, but you don't have to like go on some like strict ass diet. No, just eat less of what you're already eating. You realize, oh man, I don't need to eat this full portion of this. Like, I started to do that when you go to steakhouse. You go, maybe I don't need the steak, potatoes, and this and all that. Maybe I just need like the steak, which I love, and some broccoli. You just make these little adjustments turn into like big life changes. So that's what I suggest. Good luck. Hooked up a few times with a good friend whose actions are like dating, yet insists we are friends. Well, I mean, haven't we all been there? Not everybody can handle fuck buddy situations. You just can't, But it's amazing how much more honest you are in that situation if you think about it. Because a lot of times you're saying to yourself, I really like having sex with this person, but I know I can't be in a relationship with this person, but I love the sex. So you've decided to keep that distance like that. We've all had situations like that, But what you've allowed yourself to do is you start to have feelings. Like, you can't, it's hard to like be that intimate with someone. And especially depending on how you particularly deal with sex. Some people like having a mental, emotional, physical, like that kind of connection. And that's what makes it better. It's not just a physical act. I think most of us are like that, right? Now, I don't know. You tell me, think about it for yourself right now as you listen to me talk about this. How do you enjoy sex? What's the best sex you've ever had? Sometimes is it because of that connection, or was it because of the circumstances? You was like, it was like wrong, and it was like, ooh, this person's not right for you, and so it made you, you have to think about how sex affects you emotionally. It has an effect on, and then you sometimes translate that into like, oh well, I have feelings because this was so powerful. This sexual attraction and what we went through was so good that it made me, this is the love of my life now. It doesn't always mean that, it's triggered in different ways. You talk about, you got, pheromones, and there's chemical reactions that we're having that are different with each person, each connection. It's just different. So in this situation, the dude probably acting like that because that's what, that makes for good sex for him, but that doesn't mean that he necessarily has those feelings, real feelings for you. So you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Again, you have to want better for yourself. If you really want to be with that person, then you got to be like, nah, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, what's going on with us? And you have to just know that you can move on, and there'll be other guys who are going to love having sex with you also. There're going to be other guys that you're going to have a connection with that's going to be bigger and better. So he's not the only guy in the whole wide world. That's not the end. Just because you feel that feeling, it don't mean like that's the only time you're ever going to feel that feeling. I'm telling you, you can connect with anyone if you allow yourself. So get out of that shit. What are some tips for living on your own? I'm 20 and new to this whole adult thing. Well, first of all, I want to say good for you. If you're 20 and you already out living on your own, you already doing good, all right? Just be responsible. Use some common sense. Make sure you can pay your bills, save money. You don't have to save all your money, but you got to put some money aside for things because shit happens. And figure out how you want to live. Are you be clean, take care of yourself. Take care of your environment. Just, you're doing good. If you're out there living on your own, you're already taking a great step that a lot of people can't take. So just work on being responsible for yourself. Because now there's nobody you could turn to and be like, and your parents are probably still helpful. You're probably like, you have a month where you're like, oh, I can't pay this. And your parents will probably be like, all right, here, we'll help you. But don't rely on that. Start relying on yourself and know that the buck stops with you. Good luck. This one's tough. Advice for teachers. We're struggling right now. Man. I think teachers were probably struggling even before this. But the thing that gave you joy and purpose was knowing that you were molding young minds. So you were living your fantasy. You were living your dream of like, oh, I always wanted to be a teacher. Or you've accepted like, oh, I'm a great teacher and I love this. So that purpose has been taken away. And once that purpose has been taken away, now you're sitting here going, damn, I can't pay my bills. And then you go, oh, man, this is the amount of money I was making? Then you start to go, damn, I wasn't even being appreciated enough as it is. And you've lost that thing that kept you going in there. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for this one. It's like we all have to try to find a way to pivot. As a teacher, you have a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge. It might be time to like refocus onto something else. Try to see if you could maybe continue going to school yourself, or you probably got a few more credits to get a different degree. Find other interests. I mean, I wish I had an answer, and I feel for all these people. I feel for all the people that are struggling, especially with jobs like that, service jobs, and jobs that that were important to society that we don't appreciate enough. It sucks, and I really wish I had something better to say about it. But all I can really say is just hang in there and try to find purpose in other areas of your life, so you're not depressed about the situation that's going on. And then hopefully we will eventually get back to normal. We just have to pray for the doctors and scientists that they get this shit right. But my heart goes out to you. And again, I hope that things get better for all of us. How do I make friends in a new city? I've been here for 5 months and know 0 people. Well, I mean, you got to get out, man. What are your hobbies and interests? I would start at work. You obviously have you have the same interests as people at work. So I think some people at work, you got to be like, hey, Tom, you want to go to lunch? Or, just start finding people there. And then if not, what are your interests and hobbies? You got to get out and start doing things. I think online is good for that too. I mean, I know right now it's tough, but there are communities out there. There are chat rooms and there's like forums and groups. You start talking to someone, but believe me, get off that shit right away though. If you meet somebody you have the same interest with, you got to be like, hey, let's talk. Get on dating apps and just start talking to people. I mean, it's difficult right now because of the world we're living in, but hey, you gotta. If you have 0 friends, I mean, that's partly you. Do you even want friends? I mean, are you too shy? Like, you have to like look at yourself and be like, what am I doing that I'm not getting out and meeting people? What about your neighbors? What about like there's people that all around you all the time that you have common interest with? I just think you should open yourself up. Start saying hello to people at work more. Start being like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Start learning a little bit about people. How was your weekend? And somebody says, oh, well, my daughter, blah, blah, blah. Next time you see them, you're like, hey, how's your daughter? Did such and such, and then you just, that's how you build connections, is you just have to listen. You have to give people what you're trying to get back from people first. That's a great way. We read about this in these communication books, when you want something, first you got to find out what the other person wants, then see if you can achieve that, because then you'll be able to focus on you. You'll eventually get what you want in that process. So I just say open yourself up, be a little bit more vulnerable, and see if people connect with you. How does a grown-ass man balance Warzone and a needy-ass girlfriend? This is basically just like, how do you have your own personal hobby or something that you really enjoy doing without making your girlfriend feel like this is more important than her? It's a difficult balance, I got to tell you. For me, it's worked out because I make money. So it's turned into a job for me. Like going online and playing video games in front of the people that watch me. I have subscribers. It's made opportunities for me. I'm working now. It's work. So lucky me, right? But it's still at the same time, you don't want to be somebody that's always working all the time. So I think you have to give your girl a date day. You have to give her a day. Like something concrete. Not to say that you don't do anything on the other days. I'm saying you have to have something like, this is your day. This is your day. We're going to do this with you. That's what we're going to do. Me and you, baby, we're going to do this. And you have that day. You have a date night. You have to carve out time for her because she's important to you. That's why you're asking this question. If your girl is important to you, then make time for her. There's time for everything. You can play Warzone all day and still give her a lot of time and attention. So you have to learn how to do that. Remember why you are with her and give her the attention that she deserves and needs. All right, everybody. That's it for real world advice from a grown ass man. If you would like to send a question, each week I'll put up my Instagram post, but I would love for people to send me a video of the question you might have and be like, hey, I'm having this issue. What do you think? Listen, I'm no doctor. I'm just giving you my thoughts and perspectives. If you appreciate my thoughts and perspectives, I'll be glad to answer your questions. And if you also have some things you want me to talk about, if there's some topics, is there a show you want me to review or anything like that, please send me an email at eric@ericgriffin.com. Or also see my Instagram DMs. You can send them there too. Well, that's it for Riffin with Griffin this week. Again, I got big episodes coming up, but these are big episodes now. This is how I'm going to do it. I love doing solo episodes. I don't know why I wasn't doing this I was doing it in the very beginning, and I remember how much I loved it, but it just became about, you got to get views, and all these people got to watch, and then it's like, I messed myself up because so many people started watching, and they only watch because they're a fan of the person that I had on. And I want you to be a fan of me. So if you're a person that you only want to see other people, just unsubscribe. You know what I mean? You don't need these notifications getting in your way. Just like I just want the people who are fans of me. You want to see me talk shit, talk about movies, talk about shows, talk about what's going on in life. I'm here for you. And this is what this podcast is going to be about. It's riffing with Griffin. And so instead of always riffing with other people, the guests, I'm riffing with you guys now. So let's riff off your topics and discussions. And eventually I might even have a call-in section where, you call in on Skype and we'll talk. I'll get you, and then like that too. So we'll see how it's going. But anyways, I really appreciate you watching it. And as always, please subscribe and share if you're so inclined. And if you want to see me game every day, if you're into gaming videos, you want to watch, you like watching people play video games, I'm on every day on Twitch. That's Erik Griffin Gaming. So yeah, there it is. Thank you for watching another episode of Riffin with Griffin, and I will see you